It's a special occasion.
Oh my God, it's almost a franchise.
Not invited, but I'm glad I made it. Oh, let me apologize. I'll make up for all those times. Your love, I don't wanna lose. I'm begging, I'm begging you. Wait, can you turn around? Can you turn around? Just wait. Can we get this out?
What is going down, y'all? Welcome back to the most underrated sneaker channel on YouTube. Your words, not mine. Today, man. Today was one of the most awesome days I've had in a really long time, man. Huge shout out to my homie Cecil Lammey from 104.3 The Fan for copping a new crib. He had a barbecue today to celebrate. He just got a new crib. It is super sick. So he had a bunch of people over. He invited me over, and the whole thing was just a blast, man. So let me lay it out for you. Me and Cecil have been knowing each other for a long time. I've been selling Cecil shoes. Cecil works at the radio station that I've been going to these auditions for, and I'm currently auditioning and trying to win this dream job at. I've sold Cecil a few pairs of shoes in the past for him, his son, and that's my guy, that's my homie. So I texted him the other day, I was like, yo, I got a few pairs of shoes you might be interested in. We wear the same size, 12. I was able to double up on a few pairs. He's like, yo, I'm having a housewarming barbecue on Sunday, just come through. So I packed up and I bring 4 pairs of shoes. What'd I bring? The Homage to Home, which we're gonna take a look at in this video. I was able to double up on those. Shout out to the homies that looked out for me, and then the other pair, I just dumb luck. I won a raffle and got lucky. So I brought those. I brought the Jeter 11 lows, which I was luckily able to double up on. I brought the cap and gown Jordan 11s that we took a look at a few videos ago. And then what else? Oh, the Tinker 3s that dropped a few weeks ago. I brought those as well. So there's a bunch of people there from the radio station. There's some heavy hitters at that station, man. There's some big time people that work there. Former Broncos wide receiver Brandon Stokely.
Orton in the gun. Buckhalter right next to him. Orton pumps again to the sideline. Batted up. Oh, God! Stokely down the sideline! Can they catch him? Stokely! Wow! Touchdown! Denver! Unbelievable! Oh, my goodness! What a play! 87 yards!
The homie Big Al, Alfred Williams, was there. If you don't know Alfred Williams, he helped CU win the only national championship in school history in the early 90s. He won 2 Super Bowls in 96, 97, back-to-back like their Drake back in the Elway days. Rod Smith, that McCaffrey, Steve Atwater, you know what I'm saying. The list goes on. Legends. So Big Al was over there, a bunch of other people from the station. It was just a good time, man. Everyone was chopping it up, had a really good time. I come over with these sneakers and everyone's talking, and we all get to looking around, and Big Al's like, man, my son's graduating from school. He wears a size 12. I should really get him some sneakers. We end up working it out, and he cops the cap and gown Jordan 11s for his son who just graduated high school, and I cannot be more proud to sell him that pair of shoes to give to his son. That's just a really cool thing, man. That's what I love about sneakers. It just brings people together. Sneakers is just an incredible thing. Even people that aren't into sneakers, when you start talking sneakers and they start understanding, oh, these mean this. Each shoe kind of has a meaning and has a different story to it. And there's a lot of people that aren't in the sneaker game that don't understand that. And there's also a lot of people that are in the sneaker game that really, that's just become lost on them. They don't really, they're not into that anymore. They forgot why they got into sneakers. They forgot why they fell in love with sneakers. For me personally, I don't think I'll ever lose sight of that. That's why I got into sneakers. That's why I love sneakers, man. The stories behind them, the stories about getting them, all the crazy stuff that we go through on a week-to-week or month-to-month basis to cop the shoes, where we get them, different places, different people we meet. That's the thing I love about the sneaker game, and this is just another story to add to that, man. So Big Al cops the Jordan 11s, the cap and gowns for his son. Cecil has been wanting the Homage to Home, so I was really happy to sell him that pair. He got the Homage to Home. Big Al comes back over and he starts poking around. He's like, man, I can't buy one of my sons a pair and not buy one of my other sons a pair. How much for these Tinker 3s? We work something out on that. I sell him the Tinker 3s for his other son. So I start poking around in Cecil's collection just to see what he's got going on, man, and I see these joints. He's got 2 pairs. They're both sitting dead stock. I sold my pair when they came out in 2012 and regretted it ever since, so I'm very happy we were able to work out a deal, and I was able to get these joints back in the collection, man. And if you don't know, this is just the old school Jordan box. These joints dropped in 2012, and it is none other than the Bread 11s, man. Let me show you guys some Bread 11s. If you're new to the sneaker game, or you've never seen the Bread 11s, very sought after shoe, super fire shoe, and homie Cecil just had 2 sitting. Just cold, chilling, dead stock like it was nothing. Shout out again to the homie for lacing your boy and helping me get these joints back. I'm so happy to have these, man. It just made my day. Big shout out to Cecil for inviting me over to the barbecue and everyone that was there, man. Everyone was just so cool to me. I just had an amazing day, man, and I could not be more happy and humbled and excited about it. It was just a really good time. So without further ado, man, what you guys came for, these joints right here. Let's jump right into the sneaker. There's the box label for you, size 12. I don't know, mine has a little piece of red paint or red marker on it, but that's how it goes sometimes. These joints right here, man, I just wasn't a fan initially from pictures. I knew it was gonna take me getting them in hand, trying them on to really determine my real feelings about the shoe. Bang, there we are, the Jordan 1, homage to home, homage to home, homage to home. Do you guys say homage, or homage? I don't know how it goes, but anyway, there's a look around the shoe. I'm just gonna say homage. I don't know. I'm paying homage. Let's pull both shoes out the box. You can see I have them laced up. One of them with the red laces they do come with. One of them with the black laces that come in the shoe when you get them. So I got them laced up 1 and 1. Traditionally, that's how I lace my mashup shoes. As you know, my top threes, I got 1 black lace, 1 white lace. With these ones, I got 1 red and 1 black. And I think that really fits the shoe well. I did wear these all day yesterday, and I wore them to see Deadpool 2 last night, which I thought was awesome, by the way. It was equally as good as the first one. Some people really liked it better than the first one. I'm not gonna sit here and say it was better, but I think it was equally as good. Maybe the people that think it's better, it's just because it was new, you know what I mean? I thought they were both awesome movies. Both very funny, good action, I had a good time at both of them. So while I was at the movie last night, I did get quite a few compliments from people on these. These are pretty hyped, man. These are a pretty hyped pair. I did not know what the hype would be on these. I don't know how limited they are. I know they dropped the pairs in Chicago. They only had 2,300 of them. They were individually numbered. Those are going for quite a bit more than these are on the resale market, but these are still a pretty hard shoe to get. I'd imagine they're around the same as the Bread Toes as far as numbers, and also I think the quality of the leather is very similar to the Bread Toes, man. So let's get into the shoe. Starting out, leather quality is really nice on them, man. It's a very soft leather, and like I said, it's equivalent to the Bread Toes. The toe box might not be as soft as the Bread Toes, but everything else is, and I think it's just because it's weird, because it's got that weird split down it. So I don't think the toe box is as soft, but this around, the toe guard around the toe box is very soft. Moving up to the side paneling, very soft. The back heel counter, super soft. So if we're comparing, that's what I would say. Bread toe quality on these. Maybe your toe box, maybe a little bit stiffer. But I've already noticed mine kind of wrinkling up and softening up a little bit as I wore them one day. So right off the rip, you notice you have this unique toe box on these, man. It's like they split your Jordan 1 Breads and your Jordan 1 Chicagos right down the middle, from the tongue to the toe box, everything there just split down the middle. Super dope to me. Looks weird at first. It kind of throws you off, and that's what threw me off in pictures. But now that I have them in hand, man, this is definitely a pair that I'm very happy to have in the collection. This is a pair that I'm gonna probably wear quite a bit just because they're head turners. It's kind of like, whoa, wait, what's that? What's going on? It's kind of like the top threes. Is he wearing 2 different shoes? What's he doing over here? It's just a head turning shoe. Moving along to the side panel, you do see you have this nice tumbled leather there. Very soft on the inside and out. Tumbled both sides, really good quality, very soft to the touch, and just a nice tumbled look. I really like the tumbled look of the leather. We've talked about this before on the channel, but tumbled doesn't mean necessarily it's better quality. It's just what you like better. Do you like tumbled, or do you like the smoother leather? You know what I mean? Either way, on this shoe, the parts that are tumbled and the parts that are non-tumbled are both very soft. As far as the swooshes go, you've got a slightly tumbled leather on the swooshes on this pair. This black one is a little bit more tumbled than the red one on my left shoe. But if I show you the right shoe, this check is slightly more tumbled. The red check there, and then the black one is slightly less tumbled. So kind of evens out. I mean, they're not really consistent, but it's not super noticeable like my Royals a couple years ago. Moving up to the lacing system in the tongue, we talked about they come with 2 different sets of laces there. And how I actually laced mine, I'm gonna give y'all a little bonus on this one, man. How I laced mine, something I noticed with this pair is the tongue is huge. Look how tall this tongue is. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's because of the split. Obviously, it's because of the split, because none of my other Jordan 1s are like that. None of the tongues stick up that high. For example, let's just take a look at the top threes. I wore these today over to the party. So there you go. That's the max, man. That's like me pulling it out. That's as high as it goes. So that's really it. Just goes a little bit above the top of the shoe. And then on this one, I'm not even pulling on it. And look how high up it is compared to the top 3 tongue. It's just a lot higher, and it's a bigger tongue. I don't know why that is that way. And overall, it wasn't a big deal until I put the shoe on, and I'll tell you why. I never in my life used this thing. I don't know if you guys do. I don't know how that's showing up on camera, but this little hole here in the tongue that you can put the laces through. See, it's covered up on this pair because it's underneath the laces because the tongue doesn't sit as high. But on the Homage to Home, if you don't have your laces through there, it's just sitting up, and I don't like the way it looks. It's not really showing up on camera that well, but I don't like the way that looks. If I were to just tie my shoes normally, and I were just to, you know, lace them up how I normally do and tie them, that would bother me. And it did bother me yesterday when I first started wearing them. So what I did, I laced my shoes all the way up to this hole here. So it's, the third from the top. Then I went ahead and put the shoelaces through this hole. I don't even know what this thing is called, to be honest with you. I'm sorry. So just like that, I just put one side through, and then I put the other side through, and that's how they're looking. Just like that, okay? And then all I do is tie them up regular. So you just do the bunny ears or however, you know, you learn to tie shoes, and boom, and I just do the bunny ears right on top of that, and it actually looks really, really dope to me. For me, it feels more correct. It feels like it covers up that piece there. It makes the tongue stay in place. I think that's the whole purpose of this thing anyway, is to keep the tongue from like shifting or moving on you. I've never had a huge issue with that, never using it. But with these, I want to use it so that way I can cover up that hole, because I don't want it to look, I don't want the tongue sticking out and it's just looking weird with that hole there. And that's the look you're gonna achieve there. You'll see more in the on feet. You can decide whether you like it or not. For me, that's what I went with, man, and I think it looks great. And when I tied them, I didn't even do the first part, the little tie it down, then do the bunny ears. I just strictly put them through the hole, did the bunny ears, and that was it. As we move around to the back of the shoe, you have this seam that runs from the sole all the way up the top. I know that was bothering some people. For me, it's barely even noticeable. Like, I don't really pay that much attention to it. It is different than the standard Jordan 1. There's the top 3s again. There's no seam running up the back. On this one, you have the seam. Again, for me, not really that big of a deal. As you move to the inside of the shoe, standard Nike Air branding there, black insole, white Nike Air logo, standard Jordan 1 midsole, red outsole, the exact same on both shoes, all that stuff, standard Jordan 1. That is about all on this pair, man. A pair that I really, really like in hand. I really like the way they look on feet. The one qualm that I have, the one thing that I would have changed if I was doing the design is I would have taken the left shoe and made it this way, bread on the outside, Chicago on the inside. But I would have taken the right shoe and I would have made it bread on the inside, Chicago on the outside. That way you can see the Chicago from at least one side of the shoe. If you're just seeing both outsides, you're not seeing the Chicago at all. So for me, I would have switched it up that way. But I understand the designer's point. You want that symmetry. You want these to kind of match. I get it. Maybe it would look actually stupid. If I photoshopped that, maybe it would look dumb and I would be like, okay, they did it right. I don't know. But for me, looking at them, looking down at my feet all day, I was really, really wanting this outside to be the Chicago and this outside to be the bread. Just that difference. Other than that minor little change, I think they did an incredible job with these shoes, man. This is definitely a pair I'm happy to have. Let me know in the comment section below, did you guys cop? Are you gonna pay resale? As always, thank you guys for supporting everything I do. I love the shit out of y'all, and I will see you fools tomorrow.
I'm looking fly, fresh in my lumberjack. No more dealing with the school, I ain't coming back. And when I sing 2 cups, better run it back. Cause y'all know my name is Jitta on the track. I'm looking fly, fresh or whatever. I'm looking fly, fresh or whatever. I'm looking fly, fresh or whatever. I'm looking fly, fresh or whatever, ever. Yeah, I'm looking fly, looking fresh in my lumberjack. And I ain't dealing with the school, I had enough of that. I'd rather party with the crew, better run it back. Beer pong party at the crib, want none of that. Party in the basement, party in the basement. I can take you high like a spaceship. Hey miss, got a bottle, can you be my chaser? Plus I got 5 on that shit called Jamaica. And I got 5 of these chicks, no makeup. Posted in the game, I'm a primetime player. Never mind my haters, it means I'm doing something right. Live by the motto, that's that lumber life. Live, love life, never had enough life. That lumberjack feel good cup life. That chill out, roll up, puff life. We just tryna have fun as we live young, right? I'm looking fly, fresh in my lumberjack. No more dealing with the school.